1,100 journalists from the New York Times are going to be going on a 24-hour strike. Do not cross the digital picket line. Do not consume their news from the New York Times tomorrow, but stand with our brothers and sisters in labor.
No offense, but it sounds like that's some commie gobbledygook.
You got me.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and some interesting news as Elon dunks on the New York Times pathetic walkout today, the digital picket lines of it, as well as the hilarious, cringeworthy reactions by journalists, and quietly has unbanned some pretty spicy figures. It looks like, at least according to those tracking, the unbannings have resumed. And I will, of course, remind folks that this video is brought to you by Coffee Brand Coffee. You know it, and you know I'm gonna shell it at least once a day. Coffee Brand Coffee. Promo code The Quartering will save today. Are you looking for a Christmas gift? Are you looking for a delicious cocoa drink or teas or coffees to offer your guests this holiday season? Well, Coffee Brand Coffee has nearly 15 different flavors, including seasonal delicious flavors like Santa's Helper, white chocolate cranberry, peppermint mocha, blueberry cobbler, eggnog, maple pecan, sticky pecan roll, French toast, all sorts of that, plus our regular lineup. We've got gift boxes, holiday gift boxes lined up, where this makes gift giving super easy. You can pick one of these boxes. It comes in a really nice black, like glossy box that you can just stick a bow on and give it as a gift to your friends, family, or coworkers, and you'd be supporting the channel. And we've got a little bit thing going on for reviews. If you're an existing customer, you probably got an email today. Leave a review. We are picking some winners to get a year's worth of coffee, tea, or cocoa just for leaving a review. Now, the review requires a picture or video to prove you purchased it. So check your inboxes for that. Make sure you leave your reviews. Elon tweeted out this morning: woke v woke. New York Times union starts one-day strike. Negotiators for the company and the union, which represents most of the newsroom, have failed to come to agreement on salaries, health and retirement benefits, and other issues. Now, if the New York Times went away tomorrow, the world would be a better place, in my opinion. The New York Times is a de facto left-wing advertising outlet. It is not unbiased journalism, and it has been for a very long time. I think that these hidden biases, it's one thing when Fox does it or CNN does it, because you kind of know where their bias is and where their slant lies. But when it's like the New York Times and people try to say, oh, it was in the New York Times, like the New York Times is the same thing as CNN. New York Times is the same thing as MSNBC. I mean, this is a place that employed Taylor Lorenz. It is not a place of integrity and journalistic, hard work. It is a left-wing, like, arm of the government, a tool that helps, suppress Americans, pro-lockdowns, all this kind of stuff. A lot of the comments here, Matt Wallace, go woke, go broke. You get a lot of people, unions are a good thing. Nothing wrong with workers being paid well and having rights. I disagree. I don't think unions are a good thing. Maybe in very rare examples. And I think that, great, your union walked out. Let's see what happens. What's hilarious about this, if you read the article, it's a 24-hour strike, right? And it is a digital picket line. They're literally asking people to not play Wordle. Reporters and editors for the New York Times began a one-day strike on Thursday, saying talks between their union and the company had dragged on and showed little progress. More than 1,100 employees signed a pledge to strike for 24 hours. The union negotiating the contract, which is part of the News Guild of New York, represents 1,400 employees of the newsroom and most areas of the company. More than 1,800 people work in the Times newsroom. That's crazy. Why do you have that many people working to just pump out propaganda? Now, what's interesting is I want to pull up the digital. Oh, I didn't have the picket line. I was trying to find the digital picket line thing. Maybe that's in the Washington Post. The most dramatic move by union workers at the company in decades follows months-long negotiations over pay and other issues. I mean, they can all go away. Are there good people that work at the New York Times? I would imagine. I would imagine. But I'm judging it by their output. And the fact that they're like, please don't play Wordle. New York Times workers ask you to take a break from your Wordle streak on Thursday. You need to. Not them. Members of the New York Times are asking readers not to cross a digital picket line while they're on a 24-hour walkout. You know what? I would argue that the overwhelming majority of people who play Wordle, I've never played it. I'm not judging people who do. They have no idea that the New York Times bought it. They have no idea that it has anything to do with the New York Times, unless maybe they have a big advertisement on it now. Nobody cares about journalists. The union is asking the Times for wages to keep up with inflation. Well, maybe you shouldn't help with the guy in the office. And a $65,000 salary floor for the lowest paid positions. So every single person at the New York Times makes a minimum of $65K a year, which I suppose if you have to live in New York, that's not as big of a salary as it is as if you live in the Midwest. If you live in the Midwest, 65 grand, you're living pretty large. I mean, you've got a house for sure. You got a house, not a one-bedroom apartment. It'll be interesting to watch, exactly how this works out. But I couldn't care less if the Times just crumbled tomorrow. Speaking of which, mass unbannings of suspended Twitter users is now underway. Thousands of previously banned Twitter users, including members of the far right and users sharing blatant misinformation, have begun having their accounts restored to the platform, according to an independent analysis. The mass restoration of accounts comes after new owner Elon Musk said last month that he would offer general amnesty to many who had been removed from the platform. In following through with that commitment, however, Musk further risks alienating other users and advertisers and exacerbating concerns among watchdog groups. Watchdog groups. You mean bully organizations? We saw this article yesterday on Livestream where it was like, Uber and Amazon ads appeared on this far-right guy's Twitter page. So? Nobody looks at an ad showing next to some idiot's tweet and thinks, oh, the brand must endorse them. Among those recently unbanned are a range of large and small accounts, including users promoting NFTs, users tweeting about sports, many users tweeting in languages other than English, as well as other users that appear to be left-leaning and pro-Trump, according to observations by CNN. So, just about everybody? So, it seems that the people who are restored are equal, right? But the restored accounts also include far-right figures. They also include far-left figures, but CNN's not worried about that, right? You have people, associated with the Stormer and all these other weirdos. A number of accounts restored in recent days include many with thousands of followers. User first tweets in years to thank Musk for allowing them back on the platform. According to a review of their post by CNN, some also quickly began sharing conspiracy theories about issues such as the coup in the election. A data set of many, by the way, misinformation TM. A data set of the many unbanned accounts compiled by researcher and software developer Travis Brown, who worked for Twitter in 2014 and last year began a project tracking hate speech on the platform, allows dozens of users who have had their bans reversed are using Q-related phrases or hashtags. The data set was built. Okay, who cares? Right? And again, I found it really hard to generalize about how and why certain accounts are allowed back. It's because they're not going case by case, you moron. They're just reinstating accounts. There's no way he's sitting there. There's no way Elon Musk is sitting there like pressing the button to restore certain accounts. There's just batches that are getting restored. And some of them will be a mistake, maybe. Some of them will be people that were banned by mistake. Some of them people that were banned for legitimate reasons that, probably should maybe not be back. I don't know. But he has said, you have a lot of these people. I mean, I've noticed more people on my Menchies and also more bots and spam too. But they say ads for major brands including Kia, Amazon, Snap, and Uber have already begun appearing alongside mean accounts. So that's what they're doing. The media's attacking, essentially his advertisers, saying, oh my God, and an ad appeared next to a naughty person. We don't like him. You saw Laura Loomer came back. Roger Stone came back. See, these are some of the bigger ones. Roger Stone has 300,000 followers. Laura Loomer, she's relatively large, I think. Both have their controversial pasts, but nonetheless, they're back and people are mad about it, which is, I suppose, the funny thing to me. At least I think it's funny. I've been having an internet problem all day, so it's probably just my internet. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that if you're waiting on a restoration of your account, that it happens very soon. And I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel. Let's get on with Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. All right, I'm doing 2 at a time because my earlier videos today were kind of didn't feel right to do these. Pokemon, it is the 8th of December. These are all getting really destroyed. Oh, it's a little tiny one. Okay. Oh, hey, that's cute. Okay. First one to name this Pokemon wins 5 internet points. 5. I've upped my prize. These things don't really come out of here very easy. I wish there was like a... I should probably have like a pen or a pencil or something to like pry these little buggers out. There. That'll work. This little guy. Name that Pokemon. Who's that Pokemon? I got a Lego one to add to the rotation too. From St. Nick. That perhaps some of you will like more. The 8th. Do 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 do. Hey, what are the crab guys? Okay, this one's cool. I don't know if he'll stand up though. That's uniquely Sonic. That's fun. Merry Christmas.